Hi guys, Mimi's back to read you a story. I also wanted to start by saying I went to see a very good friend today, and I don't know if you could see it very well. Let me pull it closer. And she gave me a sweet present because she knew I would love it. You can't really see it. I think you can maybe see it. It's a dandelion seed, the little puffs in the glass, and then it says wish. Because every time I see a dandelion, I see a wish. And she knew I loved that. So she got it for me, and it really made my day. And to see them really made my day, so I'm so happy. Okay, so now we are going to read one of my favorites that I was introduced to a couple years ago by another friend, because I'd never heard of it. And we read it, and I was like, I love that story. That's so cool. It's called A Sick Day for Amos Mcgee. It's written by Philip Steed and illustrated by Aaron Steed. Amos Mcgee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clanged, he swung his legs out of bed and swapped his pajamas for a fresh pressed suit. Uniform, not suit. Uniform. I wonder what kind of uniform he uses. We'll have to see where he goes. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and 2 cups from my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he'd amble out the door. I like that word, amble. That just means walk out the door, go out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd reply. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. I think he worked at the zoo. And what number bus did he take? Number 5. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought before making a move. Run races with the tortoise, who never ever lost. Elephants. They say elephants have very good memories, so that's probably why they did that one. And a tortoise never gives up. He might be slow, but he'll never give up, so he won every race. Do you think Amos might have let him win some? Maybe. Sit quietly with the penguin, who was very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhinoceros, who always had a runny nose. The penguin was shy. That's mean. He really didn't want to go play with the other penguins. Very shy. And poor rhinoceros had a runny nose. And at sunset, read stories to the owl, who was afraid of the dark. And guess what? Owls are awake in the dark. So that would be scary if you had to be awake when it was dark and you were afraid. One day, Amos awoke with the sniffles, and the sneezes, chew, and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Oh no. He always goes, right? Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his pawns and polished his castles. The tortoise stretched his legs and limbered up. The penguin sat patiently, all by himself. The rhinoceros worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl perched atop a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. "Where is Amos?" the animals wondered. All so worried about him, right? Later that day, they're leaving the zoo. Where do you think they're going? Oh, and they're waiting. Oh, I see a clue. Where do you think they're waiting? What are they waiting for? The bus, right. They're at the bus stop. Oh, and which bus did they get on? The number 5 bus. Where do you think they're going to go? I think you're right that they're going to go see Amos. Hooray! My good friends are here! Did they go to make Amos feel better? Probably to make themselves feel a little better too, right? Because they depended on Amos. The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. I'm too tired to run races today, said Amos to the tortoise. Let's play hide and seek instead. The tortoise hid inside his shell, and Amos hid beneath his covers. He's still taking care of his friends, and they're taking care of him. Amos yawned. I could use a nap. The penguin sat quietly, keeping Amos's feet warm, just like he kept the penguin company because he was shy, right? Achoo! Amos awoke with a sneeze. The rhinoceros was ready with a handkerchief. The rhinoceros knew how that was, right? Because Amos always had a handkerchief for him. They're being good friends. I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you, said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. Perhaps we'll share a pot of tea. They made him feel better, didn't they? Amos wound his alarm clock. It's getting late, he said. After all, we have a morning bus to catch. So Amos said goodnight to the elephant, and goodnight to the tortoise, and goodnight to the penguin, and goodnight to the rhinoceros, and goodnight to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read a story aloud before turning out the light. He was afraid, right? Oh, that's the end. There they are. Did they all stay the night? And then they're going to catch the bus in the morning, right? I just love that book. Do you love the illustrations too? Aren't they great? Love it. It's also, look here. This is a Caldecott Medal winner. That's an award for young children's books. See, isn't that cool? He got an award for that book. I love it. A Sick Day for Amos Mcgee. The kids in my class would love this book. They would always say, and what bus is coming, we'd say, and they'd say, number 5. They knew already. That's the back of the book. And this is the spine that has the name. I was going to read you the back too. It says, this gentle, ultimately warm story acknowledges the care and reciprocity, behind all good friendships. That means it's back and forth, right? Friendship should not just be one way. It's a give and take. So that's what that means. And it says, zookeeper Amos Mcgee visited his animal friends every day. But one day, achoo! He woke up with the sniffles and sneezes. Though he didn't make it to the zoo that day, he did receive some unexpected guests. So he wasn't even expecting them, right? And they were his friends, so they showed up for him. That's what friends do. We show up for each other. So that is what that means. And I hope you like this book. Mimi's going to sign off for now. But I will see you tomorrow and on Mimi's Adventures. And we will do a recycling project. Okay? So meet me tomorrow in Mimi's Adventures and we'll do some recycling. Okay? See you then. Bye.